Chapter 6. 10 months ago, 2 days after Ju Young-young's disappearance. It was just a little after midnight and Sangwoo was walking back from the 24/7 convenience store. Even with Bum at his side, he was having a hard time sleeping that night. He thought clean air and warm milk might help him get to bed. Like always, he had to be up early in the morning.
Please, I'll get your money this time, I promise.
Sangwoo paused mid-yawn as he heard a man pleading for his life in the alley he began to pass. He didn't even bother to look into the lane to see what was going on. Not my problem. He walked past the alleyway, but froze when he heard a gunshot. He sighed and continued to walk to his house. He was only a few blocks away. Still not my problem. I hate this stupid neighborhood. Suddenly, he felt something hard poke the middle of his back.
Hey, Blondie, I need you to come with me.
Is that a gun? Sangwoo turned his head to see the thuggish mountain of a man sneering down at him. For what? I'm trying to go home. I don't have any money to give to the poor and homeless today. Go ask someone else. The man grabbed his shoulder as Sangwoo tried to walk off.
I wasn't asking, I was telling.
He jabbed his back with the hard object.
Move, now!
Sangwoo sighed. This is total bullshit. I should have brought a knife with me. Only armed with a convenience bag containing a snack bar and warm milk, he decided to just comply with the gangster holding him hostage. They walked back to the alley he had just passed, with the hard object still jamming in between his shoulder blades. When they entered the alley, he was unsurprised by the scene before him. Underneath a flickering light attached above a building side entrance lay a man with his brains blown out all over the door and nearby brick. Another huge thug stood next to the body. A sleek black car had been wedged into the narrow alley, and against its side leaned a woman in an oversized white fur coat. She was clearly a lot older than Sangwoo, but not because of her platinum hair colour. Her age showed through the crow's feet around her eyes and the creases around her mouth. Despite that, she was still breathtakingly beautiful, and with the right lighting, she could easily pass for being in her early 30s. Even in the yellow alley light, she had a peculiar aura around her. She was completely unfazed with the scene before her and seemed at ease. Sangwoo took in the platinum hair colour and large fur coat, but was genuinely surprised that the look actually didn't look gaudy on her. She looked important and rich. She probably has good connections or a lot of money. Maybe both. Her coal black eyes studied Sangwoo when her goon brought him into the alley.
Oh?
She smiled and waved her hand, causing the mountain of a man to back off and give Sangwoo space.
My, you're actually quite handsome.
I'm not in the mood for this. And you're ugly as fuck. She chuckled warmly.
And has a potty mouth to boot. Such a shame. It really was one of those wrong place, wrong time things. I'm sure you understand, darling.
He heard clicking next to him as the large man cocked his gun. It was aimed at his head. I was right. It was a gun. Sangwoo looked down the barrel of the handgun as he responded to the woman. No, I don't understand. And don't I at least get my last words or something? You let that guy over there run his mouth a bit before you blew his brains out. The large thug had had enough. He pressed the gun against his temple.
Shut up, you disgraceful mongrel. We're actually doing you a favour. You can't even imagine what we do to little shits like you. Some of your worst nightmares don't even come close.
Wait, stop.
The woman had pushed off the car and began to walk towards them, the click of her heels echoing in the alley. She stopped just in front of Sangwoo, her eyes boring into his.
I think you can imagine what we do to little shits. Tell me, what do you think about this little scene before you tonight? And I'm not talking about me.
Sangwoo stared down at her. It's sloppy as hell. She stared back at him. All at once she broke into a fit of laughter.
Ha! Sloppy. I knew there was something different about you. You didn't even scream or flinch when you came into the alley. The average Joe would be sitting in his own shit and piss right now. But you're not. That can mean only one thing.
She reached out and trailed her fingertips along the ridge of his shoulders, all the while leaning against his chest. Her fur coat opened and her generous cleavage came into view. Sangwoo couldn't help but notice how her breast nearly popped out of her little black dress. Her right hand moved against the back of his neck and pulled it down so their lips were close enough that they were practically touching.
You've seen things like this before, haven't you? You've seen so much carnage and bloodshed that you don't even bat an eye when you see a guy's brains splattered all over an alley. Am I right?
Bum has probably woken up and noticed I'm gone by now. This dumb bitch needs to stop talking so I can go home. This is the last time I go out for a midnight snack. Are you done? My milk is probably cold now thanks to you guys.
Oh, is the baby getting fussy? Here, let me make it all better.
She pressed her lips on his. Sangwoo might as well have been made out of stone as she tried to deepen the kiss. Frustrated, she pushed away from him.
You're no fun. But since I like you, I'll let your behavior slide.
She snapped her fingers and the thug near the body hopped to attention. He opened the back door of the car and stood like a butler waiting for his madame to enter the vehicle.
Come on, I need a distraction. Plus, you're right. This was really sloppy. Let's blow this joint, Suga.
The thug with the gun straightened.
Yes, my lady.
Clean this mess up. Both of you get a big fat F for today.
The thug seemed to deflate at her words.
Yes, ma'am.
She stepped in front of the open car door, paused and turned back to Sangwoo.
Come on, sweetheart. Get inside, I don't bite.
Sangwoo stared at the car and shook his head. Nah, you're scary.
Oh, don't be that way. I know we didn't start out on the best foot. But I promise if you let me make it up to you, you won't regret it.
I'm good.
Why are you so grumpy? Let loose, you're too uptight.
I don't know, your asshole minion held me at gunpoint and threatened to blow my brains out. I'm not gonna get the sleep I need. My milk is cold now? I got plenty of reasons. He chose not to respond. She sighed.
I'd really hate to make Suga convince you to get in the car. I want us to be on good terms here.
Sugar stepped close to him as she said this. She winked at Sangwoo.
Get in, baby. I'll get you all the fresh warm milk you want. Promise.
He didn't move. You always this fucking desperate?
Only too sexy as hell fuckboys. I know you want me. You've probably never been with a woman my age, have you?
You don't know me. And yes, I have been with women your age. Shows that women are sluts no matter how close they are to death. This one is no different.
Oh, you have, haven't you? Well, I guess you don't care about my age then. Doesn't mean I can give you a night you will most definitely remember.
She parted her coat and ran her hand seductively down her front. She was in amazing shape and she knew it. Sangwoo hesitated. She stopped her little show and turned her back on him.
Whatever, I'm tired of begging. It's your move, love.
She began to climb into the car. A pale, smooth leg extended.
But I think you should take a chance. I doubt you'll regret it.
She disappeared into the car. A few moments later, Sangwoo joined her. Let's see where this goes. Not like they were gonna let me go anyway. Stop looking like the cat that got the cream. It's not like I'm here by my free will. The older woman smiled.
Sorry, I can't help it. I thought I was going to have to ask the hired help to throw you in here. I'm so happy you made the move before they did.
She fluffed her shoulder-length hair, then pulled a pack of cigarettes and a lighter from the pocket on the back of the driver's seat. She tossed the lighter on Sangwoo's lap.
Light it for me.
Sangwoo flicked the lighter twice and watched the orange flame dance. He lit the cigarette dangling from her red lips. She took a long drag and let her head roll back.
Fuck, what a night, huh? Didn't think it would end like this, did you?
Clearly, I didn't have a choice. She giggled.
Come on, drop the bad boy act.
She leaned forward and took another drag with a satisfied smile. She blew a cloud of smoke in Sangwoo's face, making his eyes water.
The name's Lola. What's yours, stranger?
Fuck off.
Cute.
She began rubbing her hands over his chest.
Don't be greedy, I wanna know your name.
She trailed her hand lower until she hit the waistband of his boxer briefs.
So I can scream it when you're pounding my pussy.
Slut.
Thanks. Now, about your name?
I really don't want to be here. I'd rather have Bum suck me off than fuck this washed-up mafia ex-wife. He pulled her hands away from where her fingers played with his zipper. Before he could tell her to fuck off again, the trunk opened as her goons dumped the body. Once they finished stuffing the body into the back, they both slid into the front seats. Sugar started the car and drove down the alley. Fuck. Guess I'm not going home tonight. Bum better not move one muscle while I'm gone. Jun Young will be fine. He looked at the attractive woman sitting next to him. What the hell? At least I get my dick wet. Call me Hyun Woo.
What a shitty fake name.
She put out her cigarette on the leather seat. That's the best you're gonna get. Her fingers were quick and nimble as she unzipped his pants and freed his cock.
Works for me.
Sangwoo sat back as Lola blew him. She was good. 1,000,000 times better than Bum. Who knows? This might actually help me get some good sleep.
Looky there, you came so much this time. I guess you really like doggy style,
Sangwoo shook her off. Don't just touch me however you'd like. You got what you wanted. Now leave me alone, you old hag. He laid back down on the soft bed and really looked at the room he was in. Gold was the theme in this room. The bedspread, the wallpaper, carpet and curtains shone with the colour. It all but screamed money.
Ouch, aren't men supposed to be more relaxed after sex?
I'm not like most men. You said so yourself that I was different. She rolled away from him and picked up the lighter and a pack of cigarettes she used earlier off the side table. She lit the cigarette dangling from her mouth.
You remind me of my husband.
Well, I'm sure he's glad to be dead and far away from you. She blew out a plume of smoke.
Ha! I wish. Fucker is still alive and well. What I meant to say is, you remind me of my husband when he was still young.
She got on all fours and crawled over to Sangwoo, hips swaying back and forth. She plucked the cigarette from her mouth and stuffed it in between his lips. This fucking woman. Sangwoo took a drag and returned the favour from earlier, blowing a cloud of smoke in her face. She hardly blinked but took the cigarette from his hand.
You have the same look in your eyes that he had. When I saw you looking down the barrel of Suga's gun without shred of fear, I creamed my panties.
She laughed at Sangwoo's disgusted expression.
That's when I knew this guy's different. This guy is made of the same stuff my honey bear was made of when we were young and stupid and in love.
Honey bear? Is this bitch for real? I'm not your husband, so don't get any ideas. She sat up and brought her knees to her chest.
Don't worry, I don't think I'm capable of loving anyone anymore. But it's strange. The more heartless I became, the more my husband turned into a slobbering mess.
I do not want to hear her sob story. I need to get the fuck out of here. Where are my pants?
Don't you want to hear all the drama? Aren't you gonna ask why I'm fucking you and not playing housewife for my piece of shit husband?
No, I don't give a damn. I don't have time to listen to your stories. I need to go home and get some sleep.
You do have some horrible bags under your eyes. I have a cream for that if you want to try it.
I don't want it. I need to go to sleep. Tell your henchman that I want to ride home. She ignored him and continued her story.
Back then, he was a real man. Always put me in my place. I had bruises everywhere when he drafted me up. They were my badges of honor. He was the only man for me. But then this hussy came onto the scene. He would go on and on about how innocent she was. You'd swear she could shit gold the way he talked about her. I knew he was fucking her. He always would have a little side piece here and there. But this time was different. After a few months I started to get worried. I think if I let it go any further, he would have completely replaced my ass.
Sangwoo watched the ash on her cigarette fall and scatter on the bedsheets. She is so goddamn annoying. Can't say I blame the guy for wanting to get rid of her. She noticed the ash too and put the cigarette out, smothering it on the golden linen.
I shot her. I tried to stab her before, but the stupid bodyguards he put around her never let me close enough. I had a good time watching her bleed out.
I still don't care about this lame-ass story. She ignored him again.
Can you believe after nearly 15 years of marriage he threw me out of the house after some side chick, who just so happened to be pregnant? We already had a kid and he had plenty of other bastards running around. He didn't need more. He didn't need her. In reality, I was doing him a favor. She didn't have what it takes to live this kind of life.
Sangwoo rubbed his eyes. Jesus, you have kids? Thank God you're not my mother.
Of course I do. Only one. Can't have them anymore though. I got my uterus removed after having my son. He's going to be 35 this year, I think.
You fuck dudes younger than your own child? I'm embarrassed for your son. You are absolutely repulsive. She chuckled.
Don't I know it?
She climbed out of the bed and stretched.
That was the first time I ever saw my husband cry. It was disgusting. This grown man blubbering all over the place. Call me a cold-hearted bitch.
She began to mimic her husband's voice as she walked to the minibar in the corner.
How can you do that to me, Lola? How could you just kill them in cold blood? Blah blah blah, nag nag nag. He still keeps a portrait of her hanging in his office. Can you believe it? He hasn't seen my face in years, but he looks at that bitch every day. Ridiculous.
She poured herself a drink out of the crystal tumbler.
He's not the man I used to love. He's not the man I knew. The man I married wouldn't give a damn about a bitch he fucked for only a few months. Even if he did, he'd just grow a pair and move the hell on.
She finally stopped yapping. Sangwoo threw his arm over his eyes. Why are you making me listen to your whining? When did I even ask you to tell me all of this? She didn't answer him. Sangwoo sat up and looked on the side of the bed for his pants. I've let this go on long enough. She was good, but I need to go home.
Oh, Sangwoo, 22 years old, drives a silver sedan, attends KS University, works at...
Sangwoo whipped his head around and glared at Lola. You been stalking me, you sick bitch? Lola smirked and leaned on the arm of the lounge chair in front of the minibar. She lazily waved Sangwoo's wallet in the air.
Funny what this little thing can tell you about a person.
You really have no morals, do you?
I don't, and that means I most certainly do not believe in privacy. But really? Yambu? That's too close to Sangwoo, isn't it? You must suck at thinking stuff up on the fly.
You don't know shit about me.
Oh, on the contrary, I do. Tell me something, Sangwoo.
I'm not telling you shit.
How many people have you killed so far this year?
What did she just say? Her hips swung side to side as she slowly walked to where he sat on the bed, until she stood in between his legs.
Thousands of people go missing in South Korea every day.
She ran a hand through his hair.
How many of those missing person cases are you responsible for?
I need to leave. Now. Sangwoo stood up and snatched his wallet out of her hand. He rushed over to the lounge chair and found his pants, shirt, hoodie and underwear.
Did I make you upset? Oh no, don't go just yet. I have a request.
Fuck you. How did she know? How? Now I've gotta move. She knows where I live.
Stop freaking out. Your cover isn't blown or anything. Call it woman's intuition if you want. I'm just a really good judge of character. I could just look at you and tell. You couldn't tell that about me? We're cut from the same cloth, darling. We're two of the same kind, you and me.
I am nothing like you. Don't lump us together, you no-good whore. Why am I still talking to her? I need to leave. Police may already be at my house. Bum might leave with them. Bum might...
Don't be like that, sweetheart. Look, I'm not going to turn you in or anything. This isn't some undercover bullshit either. Relax. I don't actually give a fuck how many people you killed so far.
And then why ask? She blinked.
Don't you want to compare? I don't know the exact number for myself. Probably around 70, maybe 80 people I've killed with my own hands. Also, killer to killer. I'd love to see your work.
Sangwoo glared at her. She giggled.
I like to get my hands dirty, but not all the time. That's why I have a request. There's a guy in my friend's branch. We've been friends a really long time and our relationship has benefited both of our businesses. But this friend did a favor for my shit husband a while back. He was forced to hire this total shithead who has done nothing but cause problems. Even now he's colluding with the enemy, stealing profits from my friend and me. But neither of us can take him out for his trouble for the both of us. So you see, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's where you come in. If I get a third party to come in and take care of it, then the problem's solved. No hard feeling, no issues. You've got no connections to the group. Makes my life 100 times easier and everybody goes home happy.
Wrong? That just leaves me doing your dirty work for nothing.
Well, what do you want? Name your price and it's yours. I've got plenty of stuff. Money, drugs, women. Take your pick.
I doubt you can get what I want. A real family, with bum.
Why don't you name it first and then I'll see what I can do. Ask and ye shall receive.
If it's me and Bum, we can make the perfect family, I know it. We're just missing one thing. A baby.
Huh? A baby? What's the matter? You shooting blanks or something?
No, I'm not. But my partner can't have any.
Ah, I see.
Can you get one or not?
Well, that's a little bit of an odd request, but it's not impossible to do. It depends though. Do you want one right now or are you willing to wait for a custom order?
Custom?
Do you want the kid to be biologically yours, or do I need to go kidnap someone else's brat?
I would rather have the baby be mine. Wouldn't the other way draw too much attention?
It could, but not if you do it right. Doing a hit job doesn't seem like enough payment for growing a baby.
What's your price? Maybe I can scrap enough money together.
I don't need any money, and honestly, you don't look like you have any. No offense. Let me ask you this. Do you keep your prey alive once you've caught them?
I do. Only for a little while.
Excellent. Show me your latest catch.
Sangwoo, dressed, fished his phone out of his pocket. He always looked up the girls he took home on social media. After a few moments, he pulled up Jun Young's profile page and showed Lola her pictures.
Adorable. Is she still alive?
Yes?
I want her. She looks like my husband's little skank for way back then. His birthday is coming up and I want to sleep in my own house again before I die, damn it.
You want her body?
No, I need her alive. I've got another issue, you see. I run a little business in the basement here. The main product is girls, but the blockheads I have working for me only know how to break a girl. These idiots don't know how to break a girl in. You look like you know how to wear someone down. Do that for me and take care of that guy I was talking about earlier. And I'll get you the baby you want so badly.
Sounds easy enough. Where will you get the baby from? She rolled her eyes.
Are you deaf? I have a brother in the basement, and yet you still ask where I can get a baby?
Still as naked as a newborn babe, she hopped up from the chair and swung open the door.
Suga!
Yes, my lady.
Bring up the girls, we're getting ready to move out.
Yes, my lady.
She slammed the door and pranced back over to the minibar and poured herself another drink.
What's your poison?
Vodka. She scoffed.
No, I meant what's your favorite tool of choice? I like guns personally, but they can be a little loud and make a big mess. Back in the day I was pretty nifty with a hammer.
Knives. I don't really have a favorite. She rolled her eyes again.
Sure you don't.
Before he could reply, there was a knock on the door. Lola took a seat in the lounge chair.
Come in.
Sugar opened the door and a line of girls shackled together wearing nothing but bras and thongs shuffled into the lavish suite. Lola gestured to the line of girls.
Take your pick, Hyunwoo.
Bitch. Sangwoo looked at the girls lined up before him. There were 8 girls in all, and every girl with lighter coloured hair was immediately shot down in his mind. Left with 5 girls, he studied their facial features. As he scanned their faces, he saw where one girl's skin might bruise beautifully after being hit with a sledgehammer. Another girl's breasts looked perfect for slicing to pieces. The girl second to the end of the line made him pause. He pointed in her direction. I want her. Lola smiled.
Makes sense, she's just your type. Suga, leave that one here. Take the rest of them back down.
Sugar did as requested. The girl left behind began to shake and completely broke down in tears as she was left with Sangwoo and Lola.
Do you see what I mean? What type of shit is this? I don't even have a dick, but I wouldn't pay for this. Poke.
The second henchman entered the room from the hall.
Yes, my lady.
Go ask for a turkey, bastard.
She sneered at the brown-haired girl with beauty marks above her lip.
We're making babies tonight. I said that earlier, but it's the best we wait and see when the girl is most fertile and try then.
Sangwoo nodded.
We've frozen the generous amount of little swimmers you left in the rubber from earlier, but if it doesn't work for some reason, I may come calling to make you dry.
Sangwoo sighed. He looked out of the tinted window of Lola's sleek black car. The sky was starting to lighten as the sun began to rise, and I didn't get a wink of sleep.
Hey, cheer up, okay? I know it sounds like a lot, but this little deal we've got going is nothing compared to what I've had to do in the past. You'll get your screaming little monster in no time. Promise.
He ignored her and continued to look out of the window for the rest of the ride. Before long, they stopped in front of his house. Lola grabbed his arm as he opened the door.
Now, wait just a minute. I think we forgot to make this deal official.
She held out her hand for him to shake. Sangwoo grasped her slim fingers and was yanked forward, her mouth crushed on his and too tired to resist. Sangwoo let her deepen the kiss. When she released him, she ran her hands through his hair again.
I must feel like fate that we met tonight, huh?
Sangwoo got out of the car. Yeah, feels like I just made a deal with the devil. He could hear her laughter even as they drove away. The sun had risen by the time Sangwoo walked through his front door. He made a beeline for the bed he shared with Bum. Completely exhausted, he flopped down next to the smaller man. Bum didn't stir. As he fell asleep, all he could see was the young girl with the mole above her lip, heavy with his child. 10 months later. Sangwoo was acting strange today. Bum couldn't think of anything that could put the larger man on edge, but his behaviour was so odd. Not because he had snapped at Bum several times, not because he had done most of the chores today, but because he had dressed Bum in his fanciest clothing. But because Jun-young was sitting at the kitchen table with him, and Sangwoo was pacing in the entranceway checking his phone every 5 minutes. Bum knew that something was going to happen, but he didn't know what. He was afraid to ask Sangwoo if he could go to the bathroom, for fear that he might bite his head off for even speaking. What the hell are we waiting for? What does it have to do with Jun-young? Bum played with his loose wedding band as he studied the girl sitting across from him. She seemed like a ghost of the person he attacked all those months ago. After Sangwoo bathed and dressed her, he told her to sit down at the table and she obeyed without hesitation, without a word. They'd been sitting there for nearly an hour and she hadn't moved an inch from when Sangwoo first told her to take a seat. Bum's job was to keep an eye on her, but she didn't look like she had any intention of escaping. Her flat dark eyes showed no emotion, and her face held a neutral expression. The more he looked her over, the more he came to the conclusion that she was nothing more than a lifeless doll. Unnerved by his company and the whole situation in general, Bum fiddled with his clothes, his cane, his wedding band, anything to keep him distracted. He listened to the ticking of the clock and counted Sangwoo's footsteps as he paced. After what seemed like days, Sangwoo's phone finally rang. He answered immediately. You're late. Why the hell are you taking so long? The person on the other end must not have given an adequate response. Sangwoo grit his teeth. I don't give a damn. Hurry the fuck up. He hung up and resumed his pacing. Who was that? Who was late? What's going on? After another hour, Bum had gathered enough courage to ask Sangwoo if he could use the restroom. Before he could get the words out of his mouth, the doorbell rang. Sangwoo rushed into the kitchen and pulled Jun-young up by her arm. Bum, get your ass in here. Sit with her in the bedroom. Okay. Bum followed Jun-young and Sangwoo as fast as he could on his cane. Once they were both sitting on the bedroom floor, Sangwoo left to open the door. From where he sat, Bum could only hear the conversation between Sangwoo and what seemed to be a woman.
Oh, darling, it's been ages. How are you doing?
Fuck you. I kept my end of the bargain. Where's yours?
Patience, my dear. I do want to test drive before I buy, if you catch my drift. Where is she?
Footsteps made their way to the entrance of the bedroom. Sangwoo entered first, followed by a silver-haired older woman in a fluffy red fur coat and 2 large men. Who are these people?
You got a man too? He's a little on the thin side, but I could definitely find a buyer for him.
What? What's going on? Yeah, he's not for sale.
Oh my. Didn't know you swung for the other team, Sangwoo.
Shut up. She's here. I kept up with my end. What about yours?
Hold on. Have patience, sweetie. Suga.
The monstrous man stepped next to the woman.
Yes, my lady.
You've been a good boy lately, unlike Puck.
She glared at the other large man, who looked away.
Go ahead and give her a try.
Yes, my lady.
Bum began shaking as the huge man walked towards them. Give her a try? Try what? Sangwoo, what's going on? Sugar pushed Jun Young down and began removing her clothing, then unbuckled his pants. Frozen in fear, Bum couldn't look away as the large man began penetrating the unresponsive girl. Jun Young's expression didn't change as the larger man grunted on top of her. His vision swam as he pulled out of reality and into dark memories. Ugh, damn kid. You feel good today? Did you prepare yourself? Slut. I'm not the villain here. You're basically asking for it. I should be the one who feels violated. Stop your screaming, it doesn't hurt. Shut up and
take this good dick.
The man's dirty talk caused Bum's stomach to lurch. He jumped to his feet and steadily made his way to where Sangwoo and the older woman were talking near the doorway. Sangwoo, please may I go to the restroom?
Oh, you've trained him really well. Don't you see the potential? You can make a good chunk of money doing this.
Sangwoo ignored her. What's wrong, Bum? There's a man raping Jun Young in our bedroom. If I have to watch any more of it, I'll throw up everywhere. I have to use the bathroom. Please? Sangwoo sighed. Don't take long. I think the gorilla over there might be finishing up soon. Bum nodded eagerly and left the room. Once inside the bathroom, he sat on the closed toilet seat, breathing heavily. You're okay. You're okay. He's not here. Uncle doesn't even know where you are. But why did Sangwoo let me see that? Jun Young just laid there and did nothing. That's not okay. It's not normal. I don't want to watch that. I'll just stay in here until it's over. Bum focused on breathing and wiped the sweat that accumulated on his brow. Each time he thought about leaving, he saw images of his uncle grunting over his own body and his stomach would roil. Eventually, Sangwoo opened the bathroom door. What the hell are you doing in here? I told you to not take that long. Come on, everything's ready. Bum was afraid of what he would see in the bedroom, but when he returned, the large man was nowhere to be seen and Jun Young sat in the middle of the room, fully clothed and expressionless. It looked like nothing had even happened. Sangwoo stood next to him. Placing a hand on his shoulder, he whispered in his ear, "Today is the day everything changes. We're finally gonna see our baby boy." What? The baby is real. Sugar walked into the bedroom with a small black duffel bag in one hand and another larger empty duffel bag in the other. The older woman smiled at Sangwoo.
I keep my promises. Go ahead and give it to them, Suga. Puck, bag up the girl.
Sangwoo met Sugar halfway. His face glowed like he was getting a Christmas present. Come here, Bum. He put the bag on the floor and unzipped it. Bum looked inside to see a pale, sleeping newborn baby. It's real. Look at him. He's perfect. Go ahead and hold him. You're his mother now. He made Bum sit on the floor next to the unzipped bag. This is real life? This is insanity. Where did he get a real baby from? Sangwoo nudged Bum. Don't be scared. Go ahead and pick him up. Trembling, Bum reached into the bag. The baby was loosely swaddled in a thick white blanket. It unravelled as Bum lifted the baby out of the bag, and he caught a glimpse of the baby's genitalia. Sangwoo fussed over them. Watch his head. Remember what the book said. Wow, his umbilical cord still hasn't fallen off yet. The baby let out a frail wail as Bum held it in his lap. He began to panic as the wail increased in volume. Bum, what are you doing? Hold him. Don't just leave him lying there. As they tried to hush the baby, Puck had drugged Jun Young with a syringe full of a mysterious liquid. Within moments, the girl fell over unconscious. She was promptly stuffed into the larger duffel bag and carried out of the room. The older woman stood in the doorframe watching them fuss over the baby.
Well, this went off without a hitch, am I right? We should do this again sometime. Seriously, think about my business proposal, Sangwoo. You'll need the money, especially with an extra mouth to feed.
Jesus, leave already. We're done. Don't ever come near me or my family again. She laughed and walked out of the room.
We'll see about that. You have your hands full, so we'll see ourselves out. Enjoy your new little master.
They spent a good hour trying to calm the newborn. Much to Bum's surprise, Sangwoo did not get upset at all by its frequent wails. After a little troubleshooting, they found the baby was hungry and cold, dressed in a fuzzy blue onesie with matching hat, and a diaper that promised no spills. The baby had finally calmed. Bum was holding the newborn while Sangwoo held a bottle full of warm formula it hungrily sucked at. Sangwoo leaned on Bum's shoulder. Look at him. He's looking around. He definitely has my eyes. What do you think, Bum? Isn't he everything we could have ever wanted? Bum made eye contact with a little bundle in his arms. In that moment, he never felt so peaceful and anxious. This little person was so small and defenseless. Living in this house, will you be able to survive? The baby's face scrunched up and after a few wiggles, was able to free its arm from the blanket. Sangwoo laughed. Hey, what are you doing? He wants out, huh? Well, too bad. Bum, wrap him back up. Oh, okay. As he gathered the thick blanket, the baby caught his index finger. Bum, stop playing around. I don't want him to get sick. I can't. The baby won't let go of my finger. I don't want them to get hurt. He was amazed by how much strength the small fist had. Their eyes connected again as the baby waved Bum's finger around. You're so small, but you're actually strong. I will try. I will try my best to protect you in this dangerous house. Sangwoo laughed again and detangled the baby's fingers so Bum could wrap him up. That's my tough little man. He's gonna take after me someday. I just know it. Like father, like son. The phrase bothered Bum immensely. Not because he hoped that the baby turned out nothing like its father, but because Sangwoo had seemed completely oblivious to one glaring fact. The little baby was not Sangwoo's son or little man. It was a girl. Chapter 7. This hurts me more than it hurts you. They named the baby Ji-hun. The first week that Ji-hun was there, Bum had no idea how to tell Sangwoo that the baby was not a boy, but a girl. But he realized that Sangwoo had to notice when he changed Ji-hun's diapers. So he followed along with the way his husband addressed the baby. As time went by, he cringed less and less at calling the baby girl by male pronouns and eventually thought of Ji-hun as his son. Bum was amazed at how one small being could change everything. The baby's presence not only affected the layout of the house, it also affected his relationship with Sangwoo. The downstairs bedroom was now a bright and cheery playroom, and the upstairs was part nursery and their bedroom. Sangwoo had been right. A baby brought them closer than ever. He felt they were a proper couple, and with Ji-hun now a proper family. Even better, Sangwoo kept his promise. Jun-young was the last girl he brought home. For the first time in his life, Bum felt unconditionally loved. It was an amazing feeling and something that he knew he couldn't get from anyone else other than this little person who adored him, cried for him when he wasn't in sight, and showed absolute glee when he saw him every morning. Bit by bit, Ji-hun hijacked Bum's heart, until one day he realized he loved him more than he had ever loved Sangwoo. This is it. This is the feeling of love I've always wanted. Bum couldn't believe how lucky he was. He was married to a man who actually loved him, and parent to the happiest baby he'd ever seen. But sometimes he couldn't help but think of the past. Every time Sangwoo came home from work, he'd think the same thing. Was everything before my imagination? No, my legs are still like this. But he is such a loving husband and father. Sangwoo had dyed his hair black to seem more professional at his company. Every day he wore a dark suit and tie and never left the house without his briefcase. Every chance he got, he would hold Ji-hun or play with him. Most nights ended with both of them falling asleep in front of the TV. Ji-hun's small body sprawled over his father's chest. Bum's appearance changed too. After Sangwoo convinced him that he should look more feminine as Ji-hun's mother, he grew his hair out to shoulder length and wore more of the overall dresses he had found so long ago. At first it had bothered Bum, but he hardly thought about it now. If this is what I need to do for a life of happiness, then I don't care. It was the day after they celebrated Ji-hun's first birthday. Bum had finished making dinner and began setting the table. He knew that Sangwoo would be home soon. Ji-hun banged his eating utensils on the high chair. I'm right here, Ji-hun. Are you hungry? I am too, but please wait a little more. Your dad will be home soon and then we can eat. The infant made raspberries with his mouth and threw his spoon on the floor. Hey, don't throw things. That's not a nice thing to do. Now Mama has to wash it. Ji-hun responded to Bum with garbled nonsense, which made him laugh. Sometimes I wonder what you're trying to say. He picked up the spoon from the floor and nearly had a heart attack when he stood and saw his husband standing in the kitchen doorway. Sangwoo, you scared me. Welcome home. How was work? The same. Yeah? Did nothing else happen? Bum moved to the sink to wash Ji-hun's spoon. No, just like every other day. Nothing ever happens. Oh, Bum was unsure what to say to that. Well, dinner is ready. The supermarket had a great sale on pork today, so I made sure to get you a lot of it. Sangwoo grunted in response and took a seat at the table. Bum finished washing the spoon and took his own seat. From the moment Sangwoo had entered the room, Ji-hun had been happily reaching out to his father. Sangwoo smiled at him and pulled him from his high chair. I honestly think the best part of my day is getting to come home to Ji-hun. Bum laughed. He has the power to do that, doesn't he? One of the aunties at the market said the same thing. She said it was almost bad that he was such a happy child. Ji-hun covered his father's mouth with his hands and Sangwoo pretended to gnaw on his fingers, causing the baby to squeal. Sangwoo chuckled at his son's response and Bum's words. So, you're a little ladies' man, oh Ji-hun. Whoa, did you hear that, Bum? That was really clear. Bum smiled at them. He'll be speaking entire sentences before we know it. You're right. Babies grow pretty fast. I still can't believe it's been a year. Bum began to serve the food. I can't believe it either. Also, it's starting to get warmer out. I was hoping we might all go to the park on your day off. I don't know. We can go somewhere you'd like instead. It's not that. I just don't know if I'll have the time. Plus, I'm not that high up in the company that I can take a day off whenever I'd like. Bum waited for Sangwoo to begin eating. Sounds stressful. Sangwoo sighed and turned Ji-hun around on his lap so he was facing the table. It is stressful, but it's a good job and pays well. Is there anything I can do to help? Like sex? You haven't touched me in weeks. Hoping to hear an answer he'd like, Bum watched Sangwoo begin to eat his dinner. After a few bites, he shook his head. No, there's really nothing I need for you to do. Just be here and look after Ji-hun while I bring home the bacon. He gave Bum a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. Bum smiled back as his stomach flipped over itself. For some reason he had a bad feeling about the whole conversation. They ate dinner quickly, with hardly any small talk. When Sangwoo finished, he stood and sat Ji-hun on Bum's lap. There's another company event tonight, so I'll probably be home a little later tonight. What? But that's the third one this week. Did you not want dessert? There's still more of Ji-hun's cake in the fridge. Yeah, I know. I told you the job is stressful. No, I'm fine. Go ahead and eat the rest. Sangwoo bent to give Bum a kiss and smooth Ji-hun's hair. I'll see you guys later tonight. Love you. As he stepped out of the room, Bum checked the clock. He didn't even stay home for an entire hour. I've never heard of a company doing so many late night events. What if he's cheating on me? No, he would never. He promised. Later that night, Bum suddenly woke up, but he wasn't sure why. It was the middle of the night and Sangwoo still hadn't returned home. Maybe he is cheating on me, but he promised he wouldn't. Jun Young was the last girl. Sighing, he decided to check on Ji-hun. Crawling over to the crib, he stopped breathing when he realized that it was empty. Wait, calm down. Sangwoo must have come home. Maybe they're downstairs. They're probably watching TV. Slightly less worried, Bum grabbed his cane and made his way down the stairs. But when he looked into the TV room, no one was there. Sangwoo? Maybe they're in the kitchen. He made his way down the hall as fast as he could, but also found that it was empty. The bathroom was too. Only then did he begin to panic. Oh God, where is my baby? Sangwoo! Sangwoo! He rushed into Ji-hun's empty playroom and froze. The closet door was open and the hatch door leading to the basement was unlocked. Sangwoo? Ji-hun? With trembling hands, he lifted open the hatch door. A light was in the basement, but he didn't see his son or his husband. Hesitating, Bum listened to the sounds coming up from below. He heard a rhythmic scraping sound and after a short while, Ji-hun's heartwarming coos. Oh, thank God. He doesn't sound hurt. Bum steeled himself as best he could as he descended into the basement. However, nothing could have prepared him for the sight before him. Sangwoo was sitting on a small stool with his back facing the stairs. Little Ji-hun was sitting on his father's knee, and the object of their attention was leaning against the pipe near the back wall. Bum was positively nauseous as he realized that the rhythmic scraping sound was Sangwoo cutting through someone's bones. If it even was a person, he couldn't tell. All Bum could see was a pile of bleeding flesh and bone. The metallic smell of blood was so strong that it was making him dizzy. Sangwoo finally finished cutting through the bone and it broke with a snap. Shocked by the sound, Ji-hun shrieked and then began to giggle. You like that, don't you? Sangwoo bounced the baby on his knee, causing it to giggle more. Daddy likes that sound too, Ji-hun. Sangwoo? Sangwoo whipped around and stared at Bum with a shocked expression. He was wearing his trademark black underwear with the rubber apron. He also had blood smeared on his neck and cheek. Ji-hun had blood all over his hands, cheeks and mouth. His sky blue aeroplane patterned onesie was ruined with blood stains. They look like they're just stains. Thank God he didn't hurt Ji-hun. Sangwoo, what are you doing? What? What am I doing? What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be asleep? Why would you bring Ji-hun down here? Who is that? You made a promise. Sangwoo stood up with Ji-hun on his hip. Yeah, I did make a promise and I kept it. This is just something I found dead lying on the side of the road. You liar. I'm sorry if I woke you. Look, let's all just get back to sleep, alright? I have work in the morning. Bum's heart pounded as he noticed that his husband held a sharp knife covered in blood. He lied. He's still crazy. I need to get Ji-hun away from him. No, Sangwoo. I can just take Ji-hun and go back to bed. You can finish whatever you were doing. He took a careful step forward. It's not good for him to be up this late. It could mess with his sleep schedule. While he's cutting her up, I'll lock him in the basement and take Ji-hun to the police station. I will not let Sangwoo hurt him. Seeing its mother, the baby reached out. Ma! But Sangwoo stepped back. You sound like you don't believe that I kept my promise. Because you didn't. I do believe you. Of course I do. I just want to let you finish up. It looks like a really big mess. The whole time he spoke, Bum kept his eyes on the knife. Sangwoo noticed and smirked. I'm actually pretty tired. This little guy likes to play a lot. Let's all go to bed together. He tossed the knife near the lump of flesh. No. I need to keep him here. But it's been a while, right? You should take this time to relax. You work too hard. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Bum stepped forward again, reaching for Ji-hun. We'll just let Daddy finish this up, won't we? Sangwoo moved Ji-hun out of his reach. I said we're going to bed. Together. The next few moments were tense as their eyes locked. Oh God, what do I do? I need to get Ji-hun out of this basement. Now. Sangwoo, please. Just give me Ji-hun. Why? I can carry him. I'm not handicapped like you. How do you think I got this way? That little comment on top of the entire situation made Bum snap. He yelled at the top of his lungs. Give me my baby, you sick bastard! Seeing his mother upset, Ji-hun burst into tears. Bum breathed harder while Sangwoo glared at him. Oh no, what have I done? Your baby? Are you shitting me now? Do you know how many times I had to fuck that disgusting girl just to trade her for Ji-hun? Huh? I take care of you both. But I'm a sick bastard? Sangwoo, I didn't mean... Bum was cut off as Sangwoo punched him in the jaw. Bum smacked to the ground and his cane bounced off the cement floor. The basement was filled only with Ji-hun's wails as both men were stunned into silence. He hit me. Why? I can't even remember the last time. Sangwoo seemed just as shocked as he was. Bum, Here, get up. He quickly pulled him off the floor. I didn't mean to do that. Hey, look at me. I'm sorry, okay? Bum? Baby? Why did I think he could change? I'm so stupid. Ji-hun and I can't stay here. Sangwoo held him steady as he righted himself. He slowly picked up his cane from the floor and gingerly pressed where he could feel a bruise forming on his face. How could I forget the monster he's always been? Bum, answer me. Look, I was just mad and tired and I didn't think. It just happened. Come on, Bum, talk to me. Once he was steady on his own feet, Bum quietly held out his free arm. Give Ji-hun to me. Sangwoo hesitated, but then placed the crying baby into Bum's free arm. Once he had him in his hold, Bum slowly began to climb up the basement stairs. Sangwoo was quick on his heels. Bum, say something. Look, I didn't mean it. I apologize, alright? I promise it won't happen again. Bum, are you listening to me? Say something. I'm leaving your crazy ass. I'm bolting as soon as I get to the top of these stairs. When they finally emerged from the basement, Bum made a run for the playroom's exit, but he was too slow and Sangwoo beat him to it. He blocked the entrance to the hallway with his body as he interrogated Bum. "Where are you going, Bum?" Big fat tears began rolling down Bum's round cheeks. "Sangwoo, please move." "Not until you tell me where you're going." "Sangwoo, please, just go finish chopping up that girl in the basement." "It's not a girl, it's roadkill. I told you already." "Sangwoo, that was not roadkill." "Okay, alright, Bum. I lied to you and I'm sorry. It won't happen again. That girl came on to me. I didn't initiate anything, so it's mostly her fault. But I swear it won't happen again." Bum let out a broken sob. "You said Ji Young was the last one." "I know, I did. It's just, I couldn't help myself. It just feels so good. And her body was so warm. I had to do it, or I would have gone insane. I miss this so much. It relaxes me. I need it." "More than you need me and Ji-hun?" No. Bum, I think you're tired. We're all tired. Let's just go to bed and pretend that this never happened, okay? Like a bad dream." "Did you sleep with her before you killed her?" Sangwoo said nothing. Bum sobbed harder and wiped at his eyes. "Oh my god!" "Bum, let's just forget about it all, okay?" "Sangwoo, please move." "No. Where are you trying to go? We'll go together." Bum sighed and sniffled as he tried to hush the still crying baby in his arms. I need to get Ji-hun cleaned up." "Alright, come on, we can do it together." Sangwoo escorted his wife and child to the bathroom and once again blocked the door with his body. Ji-hun's face was bright red from crying, and Bum did his best to calm him down as he undressed him. He threw the blooded onesie in the trash. That was my favourite one, too. Ji-hun's blooded diaper followed shortly after. As Bum washed the baby in warm water, he checked all over his son's body for any injuries. Thank God he's not hurt. Once he was done, he wrapped him in a fluffy clean towel and bounced him up and down while humming a lullaby, trying to get him to stop crying. The entire time Bum bathed Ji-hun, Sangwoo paced in the bathroom's doorway, his bloody hands fisted in his hair. When Bum finally finished, he blocked the door with his body again. Bum. Bum didn't respond and focused on drying Ji-hun's hair. Tired of being ignored, Sangwoo grabbed his arm. "Damn it, Bum, look at me." Bum looked in his direction but didn't meet his eyes. "You weren't supposed to know about what happened tonight. But I shouldn't have brought the girl home and I shouldn't have hit you. Say you forgive me. We can move past this. We've already been through so much together. I know we can." "Why would I let Ji-hun watch you kill someone?" "I didn't. I brought him down after. I just wanted to show him." "Show him what?" "Does it matter? We need to just move on and forget about this." "I can't just forget that you cheated on me. I can't just forget that you let our son play with a dead body. I can't just forget that you punched me. I'm sorry, Sangwoo, but to just forget it's not fair to me or your son." A muscle ticked in Sangwoo's neck as he clenched his jaw. "So that's it, huh? I bang you around a little, fuck a random girl, and get Ji-hun's clothes dirty, and now you want to leave?" "Sangwoo." "No, you're not leaving me. You are not leaving me." Sangwoo punched a hole in the wall, causing Bum to jump and Ji-hun to begin crying harder. Afraid for his son's life, Bum agreed with his enraged husband. I'm not leaving you, Sangwoo. Please. You're scaring the baby." "I won't let you leave me. I will kill you myself before I let you leave me." Bum held the baby close as he sobbed. Okay. I'm not gonna leave. Just stop, please. Stop." Sangwoo blinked back tears as he listened to Bum's plea. His voice shook as he tried not to cry. "We promised that we'd be together forever. Remember?" Yes, I remember. We will." Sangwoo held out his arms. "Come here." Bum was too afraid to go to him and continued to weep along with the crying baby in his arms. Sangwoo went to them. "I'm sorry. Hey, it's gonna be okay. Here, Daddy'll give Ji-hun a kiss." He kissed the top of Ji-hun's head. And Mummy will give Daddy a kiss. And everything will be better. Bum was shaking in Sangwoo's bloody arms. But afraid of what could happen if he denied him, he gave Bum a chaste kiss. Sangwoo grabbed his face and deepened it. But Bum pulled away after he felt his erection push against him. You're crushing the baby. Oops, my bad. Sorry, little man. Your mum is just too hot. He gave Bum a wide-toothed grin. Bum gave him a watery smile back. Let's all get cleaned up and go to bed. Bum nodded solemnly in agreement. The next morning, Bum woke up with a pounding headache. He didn't need to look in the mirror to see that his face was swollen from last night's abuse. He could feel it. When he sat up, he realized that only a sleeping Ji-hun was in bed with him. He felt excited. Now I can escape. I'm sorry, Sangwoo, but I can't let you put Ji-hun in danger. When he lifted the blanket to get out of bed, his heart dropped. Around his ankle was a metal cuff attached to a chain that led down the stairs. Bum pulled the chain, but it was thick and sturdy. He knew it wouldn't break easily. Feeling the beginnings of despair, he looked around for something that could get him free. Instead, he found a bottle of painkillers on the floor with a folded note underneath it. He ignored the bottle and read the note. If you try to leave me, I will break your legs again. Have a good day, babe. Love you. Sangwoo. Kiss, hug, kiss, hug. Bum flopped back on the bed and sighed. It was official. The honeymoon was over.